So, how do you join an esports team? Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's pretty simple. You drive quick, get noticed, there you go, you're in a team. But there's a few minor details here that, if you look into, it puts you that step closer to getting into a top team and possibly driving an esports series. So here, I'm going to give you the top 5 ways to get into an esports team. It may not completely get you there. I don't think you're going to have a contract at the end of this video, but it's definitely going to further yourself closer to being signed by a professional team. So, tip number 5. Join leagues. And I can't stress this enough, how you should join leagues. The leagues are just everything for you. Join the biggest one, join the smallest one, it doesn't matter. Pretty much these leagues are going to take you to where you are in the next 2-3 years, wherever you want to be. If you're doing it for fun, still join leagues. They're exceptional for having fun. Even though I take them very seriously, I'm obviously still having great fun, and racing against real people is much better than the AI, trust me. I've witnessed it firsthand. But yeah, join leagues. Even if it's the smallest one, work your way up from there. There's numerous tiers. For example, the race you're watching right now, this is PSGL F1, the PC top tier. But this, I think the PC side has about 5 tiers or something. I could be wrong. I know PS4 has like 12. But you can join these. You can go in the lowest tier if you need to be and work your way up. These are extremely crucial to getting noticed by a team. It may sound ironic, but if you want to get into the Pro Series, I know it's coming from me. I'm not in a main team. I'm in a academy roster. But if you want to get into the Pro Series, I think you have to do leagues at this point. It's pretty essential to get in there. Not only does it get you noticed, it helps you for if you do get to the big stages like the Pro Series, racing against real people, real nerves. Everything's real in league racing. It's not like your practice sessions where it's a bit under pressured. And here you've got thousands of people watching you. Maybe in the smaller leagues you've got 20 people watching you, but at the end of the day you've got people watching you, you've got people judging you, and there is pressure on no matter what league you're in to some extent. Even if Yarno joined the smallest league in the world, there's pressure to not get beat by your average Joe in the corner and get it plastered all over Twitter. So either way, there's pressures in leagues, but yeah, it's a must to join leagues. I don't think I really need to explain it much more, but yeah, join leagues. So, tip number 4. Join a team. Now, when I say join a team, I don't mean teams like McLaren, because obviously what I'm telling you in this video is to get to teams like them. So that'd be a bit to the answer, to say the least. But when I say join a team, I mean teams like your community teams, your small teams, the ones that are pretty much you could message, and if you're lucky enough, you'll get into. These teams pretty much allow anyone in them. You need to be in the top tier of any league to get in the best community teams, and even then, it's not that difficult to get into them. If not the top teams, there's plenty of teams about. A lot of them consists of massive friend groups, very small teams all the way up to the massive community teams. It ranges quite a lot, and some of these top teams can have links to professional teams, surprisingly or not. So you should join these. I highly recommend it. I was in a team myself, CRG Comrade Gaming, and the people I met in there and the amount I learned in there was just crazy. So I highly recommend joining a team. If you've got a friend that owns a team, it doesn't need to be big, just join a team. It means you have more people around you, more brains working on one thing, and even if it's not the best team in the world, you're going to be learning something at the end of the day, and I highly recommend it coming from me. So, tip number 3, practice. Now, I know you're going to hate me for this, but there's no shortcut to getting quick. You have to practice, and that means putting hundreds of hours into the game. Now, even the top drivers in esports, such as Yarno, Marcel, Danny, Frederick, the list goes on. I could go forever. They practice, they put hundreds of hours in, and a lot of them nearly have about 1,000 hours by the time December hits for the end of esports. But yeah, there's no quick way around getting fast, and you have to practice. I do recommend practicing on multiplayer. These things, the reason for practicing multiplayer is because obviously the racing you're going to be doing is going to be on multiplayer. So this is going to give you the most realistic expectation you can get, and without practicing multiplayer, you're going to be getting yourself further away from the real thing. So I highly recommend practicing multiplayer. Maybe a little bit of time trial here and there. It's not going to hurt. If anything, it will help your raw pace. But the conditions in time trial aren't very similar to the real session. So that's why you usually see some time trial merchants lurking about who are only quick in time trial, because the conditions are just completely different. But yeah, practice. I thought I'd get that out of the way quick because I knew you would all hate it, but again, there's no simple way about it. Practice, put the hours in, do race practice, do quality practice, do hundreds of hours in practice, and you will see improvement. Make sure it's constructive practice though. Make sure you're not putting in 8 hours a day and draining yourself. Me personally, I like to do very short sessions, but are very intense. So, I don't know, 2-hour sessions of just going at it, giving it my all, and then stopping. That's how I like to do it. But some other drivers like to do hours and hours of just straight practice. But it's all about finding your sweet spot and what works for you. And once you have, I'm sure you will see the results coming in quick. Tip number 2, social media. So when I say social media, it's a bit vague, but let me expand. When I mean social media, I mean by posting your results after races, posting your hot laps, just posting as much as you can. Be as selfish as possible, but make sure to keep it as clean as possible. You don't want to be arguing with people in your social medias. Let's take Twitter, for example. We all know Twitter is quite a toxic place. You don't really want to be arguing with everyone on there. Let's say you're a team owner or a team manager and you want to sign a driver. You don't really want to be going into their comments or their tweets and replies and seeing them arguing with everyone in the community, because no doubt that's going to put you off the driver just a little bit. So try and keep it as clean as possible, just to give yourself the best chances of getting signed to a professional team. And I can imagine if you do keep it clean and you're quick on track, you will get noticed. And with Twitter, your world is your oyster. You can make yourself look like the most professional driver there's been in a while, and it can really, really help you on the way to an esports seat. So keep your social media up. Post YouTube videos about yourself, post anything in general, just anything. Post as much as you can about yourself. Show the good and the bad. You're only human. Showing the bad isn't a bad thing at all, as long as you're not constantly showing the bad. But obviously, show as much good things as you can. Every time you set a good lap time, post it. Every time you have a good league race, post it. Post YouTube videos. Flaunt as much as you can in social media, and this will help you so much to get noticed by a professional esports team. And the final tip number 1, be patient. Now, this may not exactly seem like a tip, but trust me, it is. A lot of people get so far into their career to trying to get signed by a pro team and they give up. There's people out there who have been waiting absolutely ages, and there's even people who've been in the pro series and then now they're out of a seat and they're waiting again. So it's extremely crucial to be patient. If you really want to get signed by a pro team, you have to be patient. There's people been waiting absolutely ages, and I cannot stress this enough, that things do not get handed to you on a plate. These things can take very, very long if you're willing to put in the work, and it's just how it is. There's no quick way around it. Being patient is a tip. It does sound a bit weird. Maybe not just in getting signed by a team, but maybe things like finding pace. You don't find pace overnight. If you're a second off, that second you're trying to find might take a year, it might take 6 months, it might take 3 months, it might take a month, who knows. It just depends how hard you're willing to work, and in general how naturally talented you are. There's no nice way of saying it, but if you're not naturally talented, I know a lot of work is going to help you, but you're going to have to put a ton of work in, and at the end of the day you have to have some natural talent to be at the top of F1 esports. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. This is the best way I could put it. I might have missed out on a few things here and there, but these are the main things that came to my head when I thought, how do I get noticed by an F1 team when I was trying to get noticed. It does sound kind of ironic because I'm not in a main roster, but I would say I've essentially done that from my side. But if you guys have enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe and turn notifications on if you're feeling really generous. I'm going to try and upload a lot more videos like these because content's been a bit dry recently, and racing's not on for the next 3 months. But again, if you have enjoyed the video, please like, please subscribe, and please comment. Any feedback, any constructive criticism is open, anything at all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.